Yeah, no, I don't know. He won't answer. I called him like 6 times. I know, he was supposed to do the intro like hours ago. Alright, well, I just pulled up to his house. I'm gonna go see if I can figure out what's going on. Alright.
To whomever it may concern, by now you've probably realized I'm not here to do the intro. I will no longer be able to do intros, not even this one, which was the night where I took the Sigma 85 out, and while I wasn't expecting rain, it was a lovely surprise, and I got a lot of shots I was very happy with. The irony is not lost on me that this note will likely be read in my voice, maybe with some reverb, which would essentially equate to me inadvertently doing the intro, but I digress. I'm running away. I realize I've made a commitment here, but the shame is simply too much to bear. I shit my pants at Chili's yesterday, and I don't think I'm strong enough to face the audience.
Damn it, Carrie. We've all shit our pants at Chili's.
I realize we've all shit our pants at Chili's, but this was a different story. It was a real mess. They had to close the location permanently, as well as bring in a hazmat crew to seal off that section of the city for at least 1,000 years. This will be a chance for me to learn from my mistakes and grow. Once I'm able to safely re-enter society, you will be the first to know, whoever you are. Sincerely, Carrie West, and welcome back to my photography channel. P.S. Roll the video. Alright guys, this is the first time I'm doing this alone, so forgive me if things go horribly wrong. Be sure to keep your eyes open for the pug hidden in this video, because if you're the first person to correctly post the timestamp where it's at, I'll offer to buy you some groceries, but then I'll leave them all at the checkout stand because I won't have any money on me. I think if I nailed focus here, it would have been a lot less of a failure, and it's still pretty cool. It's a nice clean silhouette, and I do like the background, but she's just so insanely out of focus since I was shooting at f1.4 that it just feels kind of like a throwaway shot to me. I'm really excited to be shooting at night again, now that the sun is going down a little bit earlier. And this is one reason why I love shooting through glass at nighttime. For some reason, it always produces a really soft light effect. Plus, there's all the nice bokeh of the reflection and the lights in the interiors of the buildings. It just really produces a pleasing image, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this one. I love how lit up her face is by her phone. It's really hard to catch people not looking at their phone these days, but I feel like if you can kind of use it to your advantage at nighttime, it can create a pretty cool effect. I cropped it down to a square just because there wasn't much interest outside of her face on the wall next to her. I was at first a little bit annoyed that it started to rain because it wasn't supposed to, and I try to be a little bit more prepared when I know I'm gonna go shoot in the rain. I do not shoot without something covering my camera. I just do not want to risk it, especially with a Sony. They're infamously bad at weather sealing, but luckily I had my little camera bag in my backpack, so I threw that on, and it actually ended up being a really good night, and I'm glad it rained a lot because some of these shots just wouldn't have been the same without the shininess of the city. It hadn't really rained hard enough yet to blanket the streets,
good,
but
man.
people were starting to pull out their umbrellas, which is always a good sign. I thought this guy was interesting, the way that he was sort of leaned up against the wall in between the pillar. And while he gave me sort of a death stare, I'm glad I got the photo because I really like his stance, and I like that triangle of light just behind him on the pillar. This is another one of these places that I always really want to get a shot at, and I still don't think I've gotten a very good one here. I just really love the way that this little awning is all lit up at night. It's just so vibrant, and it almost reminds me of something you'd see in New York or something. I thought these two looked quite classy with the umbrella, so I kind of walked up ahead of them and grabbed another shot from the front, and then I emphasized the light source that they were both looking up into, and I think it created some interest just out of frame. Nothing to really say about this one. A very uninteresting man with a very uninteresting look on his face. He is kind of covered in water though, and of course, since the ground is wet, the reflections from the buildings looked pretty nice. Another kind of a throwaway shot. I just turned to grab it because this bus was totally diagonal in the street, but then later on realized that the way that the headlights were hitting all the rain was kind of cool because it sort of cut the frame in half. This building back here always looks really amazing at night, and I've never really shot it when there's rain, but it also of course lights up the entire street in front of it. So I spent a few minutes here just catching people walking and running across the street as the rain started to really pick up. This one's probably my favorite one here. He kind of looked up at me just at the right time with this, can't really tell if it's a confused or angry look, but I thought it created some nice mood to the image. Of course, a few more of these through the window shots with this nice soft and colorful lighting on the inside. I always really like these dome umbrellas because they're clear and people put their heads up inside of them, so it gives you the opportunity to put your subject between yourself and some lighting. This giant projector is one of my favorite places to shoot when there's inclement weather because it catches all the raindrops and it creates this really cool rainbow if you wait around long enough for it to change to one of the more colorful photos it's projecting onto this tower. I happen to always have my 85 with me though, unfortunately. It might be kind of nice to take the 24-70 out the next time it snows or rains and try to get something a little bit wider to include my entire subject.
Fucking damn it, mother cock dick.
I thought for sure this one was going to be puby dog trash, but after really increasing the contrast, the car on the foreground completely disappeared and I was just left with this nice silhouette of this dude's head in front of these bright lights behind him. This one is super simple, but I love how bright these lights are behind him, and I really emphasize that in the edit. And then these nice arrows pointing right towards his face was kind of a bonus. Just kind of threw the camera up here looking for a face, and I got one that was in focus, and I think it might be my favorite of the night. I went black and white because the only colors that were really there were skin tones and then the pure white of the bus lights anyway, so I just kind of leaned into that and made for a nice gradient-y silver and black edit. As far as umbrella shots go, this one's pretty pube-tastic. I do like the bright blue lights right in the center of the frame behind them though, but I do kind of wish that there was a face or something a little bit more visible. I cooled this one down a balls ton in post because I really liked the way that those flowers were catching the light, but it just didn't look right to me with their natural colors, so I kind of cooled them down to the point to where they almost turned whitish blue instead of the vibrant greens and yellows. I like this one, but again, she's just staring at her phone, and I also kind of wish I didn't cut off her knees with the frame to this window here. I wish I would have caught this one just a half a second earlier and I could have got them in the actual hug that they were doing, but instead I caught them just a little bit too late. It's still, you can still tell that they're kind of hugging, but it turned out a little more awkward than I wanted it to. I think this one is another one of my favorites. I love the anonymity of it, and the way that the light was hitting her hair just reminded me of some old film or something, so I warmed this one up a little bit, and it almost turned out monochrome with the lack of different tones that balance out the warmth in it. But I kind of like it that way. It almost brings the light to an even more soft feel. Wow, I could just not get those words out of my mouth in the right order, but I'm not going to go re-record it because I'm an idiot. This is the end of the video, and I'll leave you with these raisins that, if they're not careful, they'll wind up being grapes sitting out here in the rain. I'm deeply apologetic for that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and hit the like button. It would probably help or something, I guess. That's what people say, right? But if you didn't like it, I hope you shit your pants when you're not wearing a diaper at work. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.